So good afternoon everyone and welcome back to the class on tribology. Can anyone let me know briefly what we did in the last class? Quick, we have to start with the numericals today. So what was the part we had started in the last class? Gautam Krishna? Can you please tell me quick what we dealt in the previous class? Hello? Can you remember what we dealt in the last class? Subramanya? Ishant? If you keep mum, how will I come to know what we dealt in the last class? I guess Kanishka was absent in the last class. Kanishka, you're there?
Yes, ma'am, I was absent.
Yeah. So we basically dealt about the derivation of equation for plane cider bearing with fixed shoe. What is the formula we need to use for load bearing capacity, the power laws? So this was a basic diagram what we dealt about. So we dealt like about what is the equation we end up for pressure distribution. So this was the equation for pressure distribution we derived in, right? And later we went for load carrying capacity. We calculated where the load will be maximum. So this was the equation we ended for load bearing capacity, right? So then we focused on frictional force. To speak with respect to frictional force, the shear stress phenomena comes into picture here in case of plane cider bearing, because one of the surface will be pivoted, yeah, fixed, and other one will be moving, and hence the shear stress comes into picture. So we dealt about the shear stress equation and we added that concept to the frictional force, and then we ended up with the equation for coefficient of friction. And also we focused where the load will be maximum at what point, right? The plane slider will be moving for the entire width of the bearing. So at what particular point the load bearing capacity will be high. So it will be high comparatively where the pressure distribution will be ultimate or the saturated value. So as per that, we figured out the equation for the maximum pressure distribution as well. So this were all being done. So with respect to that, we substituted the value of the maximum pressure distribution to the load bearing capacity equation here. And then we figured out which is the maximum W max value, that is the ultimate load bearing capacity of the given plane slider bearing. So all these phenomena and derivations we dealt exactly in the last previous class. The total derivation part was been over, and I told that usually you get the numericals based on these parameters only: the pressure distribution, the load bearing capacity, the frictional force, and the coefficient of friction. Sometimes they might ask you to determine the maximum load which has been bared, right? So at that time you should be able to use this equation W max and find out the value. So this was about our plane slider bearing. So before this we learned about many concepts of plane slider bearing, how the pressure distribution will be done in previous class, right? The mechanism of the pressure development is very much essential for you to understand. Once you understand this concept, so then we went on for the derivation part of various parameters, right? Pressure distribution, load bearing capacity, the frictional force, and the coefficient of friction, and where the pressure, where the load is maximum. So these parameters we have derived already, right? So these are all with respect to the pivoted shoe. But these equations, what we have derived, will provide us the values with respect to the given constraints. You cannot modify. Depending upon the availability of the variables, it will fetch you the results because you have pivoted exactly at a particular angle. So this alpha, so you cannot vary, right? So this is like in fixed constraints, fixed parameters, and you get the fixed amount of result values. So now you have to just have a second thought before going for the numericals. Even this is a case of idealized slider bearing only with pivoted shoe, but you will be having an option to vary the angle with which it has been pivoted, right? So that one you will now understand. For a better analysis of a plane slider, it is always better to understand that you will yield a good amount of result when you have a maximum load bearing capacity. But the previous ideal slider bearing, what you have studied, will provide you the maximum load, what that bearing can where and it depends upon the definite attitude value, the eccentric ratio, the value of n. So everywhere you need to give the value of n. So based on the value of n, you will yield with the ultimate value for w. Means you're constraining your equation with respect to the value of n. So that is what it is made to tell. So based on that, you will get all other values, right? So this is one thing which is not up to the mark, right? So now they have provided a small variation as shown in the diagram. So what happens here? Previously, the one of the surface was fixed. So if you go back to the diagram here, this surface was fixed, yeah, pivoted with respect to particular angle where you cannot vary. But now you have an option to vary the angle, right? So you have a surface here. Above that, the bottom surface could be varied with respect to the required angle. So as per that, the H1 and H2 will vary. Anyhow, you will be having a converged film between the two surfaces. Here, both the surface will be inclined. So here you have a bottom surface which acts like a substrate, a groundwork. So on that you can have the inclination of the bottom surface. Only the top surface will be moving with a constant velocity u. So no change with respect to the concepts and assumption. Only thing is that the angle could be varied. So this is the option which has been given. So here only for your understanding, to get the data as per the required one, we can make the changes. So instead of having a bottom surface pivoted as earlier, so here you can have the bearing can be adjusted with respect to the angle of inclination. So you can adjust the angle of the bearing as per the requirement alpha here. So based on this angle of inclination, even the axis, the normal load in which it has been subjected will vary. And this W again depends upon the maximum load bearing capacity. This again depends upon the distance from which it has been located. So if you go back to the pressure distribution equation, what we have studied earlier, so this X1 plays a vital role. So this W will be maximum where the pressure distribution will be maximum. So you'll be having an oil film. So in converged way, so this entire thing is the converged oil film. So across this particular point, the pressure will be the maximum. So at that point, the load bearing capacity will be higher. So this distance will be like x1. If B is entire width of the bearing, so this is a distance x1 at which the load bearing capacity will be maximum. So at this point, you'll be having a small deviation here. So wherein you can vary the angle of inclination. So that is nothing but our alpha. So based on that, this will be tilted. So with respect to the tilted surface of the bottom, which is pivoted, so this H2 also varies. Even though H2 varies with respect to H1, you will be having the required converged film and required pressure distribution to have a smooth sliding across our slider bearing journal. So this is just to understand the concept. So nothing much to derive any equation in part of it. So only thing what you have to understand here is if you vary the angle of inclination, so then you can have the values of load bearing capacity, pressure distribution, minimum film oil thickness values varied with respect to the angle of inclination. You will not be fixing with respect to the attitude value. So this type of concept and design could be carried out if any application is needed wherein you are not bounding the values within a particular constraint. So this is also to be called as an idealized slide bearing only with respect to the pivoted shoe. Only thing you'll be having an option to vary the angle. So in that aspect, if they ask you to write a short note on idealized slide bearing, wherein you can show the change in angle of inclination, you can draw the sketch and explain the concept. But other equations are the same, what we use for solving the problem. So now we have to start up with the numericals. So to start up with the numericals, you should be knowing the pressure distribution equation, right? Ultimately, after substituting the constant value, and you should be knowing the load bearing capacity equation, you should be knowing the frictional force equation, and you should be knowing the coefficient of friction equation. Anyhow, these equations will be available in the data handbook, and data handbook will be provided for you all in the term of examinations. But still, you should be able to identify which equation you have to use for which sort of. Or else at the end of module 5, it's better to write down the equations, what you have to use, either for load bearing capacity, or pressure distribution, or coefficient of friction, for each chapters, which are the formulas, and which are the equations which are associated in the data handbook. So you'll be having a number related to each equation in the data handbook. So you can remember that number also, so that it will be easy for you to search in the data handbook during the time of examination. So now, and when you refer these equations in the data handbook, there'll be slight variations, but the gist will be the same. So I hope the concepts related to the derivation part was dealt in the last class only. Around like 35 or 36 students were present. I don't know how many of you have missed. I will share the PPT in the Google Classroom for your reference. But see, please go through the derivation part, so it will be better to understand for you to solve the numericals. So this is the first problem what we have to solve for today. So please take down the given data. Everyone kindly take down the numerical number 1. Please note it down. It is a rectangular plane slider bearing with fixed shoe. So please read the question. It could be a hydrostatic bearing problem. It could be a hydrodynamic bearing problem. So don't blindly think, okay, this is this, and start up abruptly. Please read the entire question and understand which is the category of problem being asked. So it is a rectangular plane slider bearing with fixed shoe. So when you read plane slider bearing, you'll come to know that it is into the slider bearing module 4 with respect to fixed shoe. So here it is assumed that you don't have any end leakages. So based on the assumption of no end leakages, the data is given. The bearing length is given as 90 mm. Kindly take down, bearing length is hereafter referred to be as B. We have used this in deriving the equation also. I have shown that in the diagram as well. So if you go back to the equation, this is the bearing length B. So this bearing length B is given as 90 mm. It is always represented by B. And the width of the shoe is given to be as 90 mm. So this is nothing but the length. Always the width of the shoe which is given, you will refer it to be as capital L, which is 90 mm. Apart from that, they have given the load on the bearing, which is equal to 7,800 Newton. Please take down the data. Load on the bearing is 7,800 Newton. It is represented as W. And then what is the velocity with which it is sliding? So the sliding velocity is given in terms of 250 centimeter per second. So please note down the value of slider velocity, which is capital U, is 250 centimeter per second. And then the inclination. Obviously, the bottom surface will be inclined and the inclination angle is given in terms of radians. So please note it down. It is minus 0.000, 3 times 0 followed by 35. So this is the inclination angle which is being given. Apart from that, you have an converged oil film of viscosity 40 centipoise. So please don't forget to convert that into Pascal second. So if you want to convert that into Pascal second, you have to multiply 40 into 10 raised to power minus 3. So what are the things you have to determine here? So they have asked, I think, 3 parameters to determine. One is the minimum film thickness. what is the minimum film thickness you have to identify, right? So you will be having H1 and H2, right? So if you go back to the diagram here, you will be having the film thickness of H1 and H2. So minimum film thickness is nothing but H2 you have to determine. Okay, so please read the question and understand properly. And they have asked you to determine the power loss. So we have the equation for power loss also, we'll use it. And again, yes, they have asked only two parameters here. So for the beginning problem, right? So first you have to find out the minimum film thickness. So minimum film thickness is nothing but H2. How will you find out H2? Right? So we have the equation already where A is equal to H2 by B. So while deriving the equation, we went on related to the parameters of H2 and B. So while deriving, I showed you. So here, see, alpha is always the inclination of angle. What we get is nothing but the difference between H1 minus H2 by B. So this will be the minimum oil thickness, and this is the maximum film thickness, and this will be the width of the bearing. So this equation is the concept what you have to understand. Okay, so apart from that, we have dealt about one more part in this. Yeah, H is equal to H1 minus alpha. So these concepts are being used to get the value of here. Okay, so this is not A, this is alpha. Okay, so alpha is equal to H2 by B. So here, this is the equation. We are not taking H1 here. Usually it is H1 minus H2 by B. So now to determine the minimum film thickness, if we refer to the data handbook, alpha will be equal to H2 by B. So in this, we need to determine what is H2. So H2 will be B into alpha, right? So this value you have to get. So for that, you should see what are the data which has been available. So in the problem, they have given you the load on the bearing. So we have the load bearing capacity equation. So if you refer for our data handbook, the load bearing capacity equation for plain slider bearing is given in equation 24.99. So as per that, this is the equation what we use. So in this equation, you know all the parameters apart from A. So if you know the value of A and in the question they have given the value of B, so we can easily determine what is the minimum film thickness. So you have to first try to get the unknown value, because to determine H2, you need to know the value of A. So there is no other option other than using the load carrying capacity equation. So first you will write down the load carrying capacity equation. All the values are known apart from A. So we will substitute those values, right? So W is nothing but the load on the bearing. You will write as 7,800 Newton. So 6 is a constant. You will write as it is. Mu is nothing but the viscosity of the lubricant, which is given as 40 centipoise. Convert that into Pascal second. So it is 40 into 10 raised to minus 3. So kindly substitute. After that, the velocity with which it is sliding, U is given in the question as 250 centimeter. So kindly substitute the value of U as 250 centimeter. Okay, so U value will be 250 centimeter. Convert that into meter. It is 250 into 10 raised to minus 2. So divided by alpha square. So the inclination with which it has been inclined is given in radians. So kindly type it as the same, minus 0.00035 whole square. So then open the bracket, log of A minus alpha. A is unknown, you will write it as it is, and minus alpha. It is minus alpha, but the inclination angle is also minus. So minus into minus, it becomes plus here. Please be careful with respect to sign convention. Substitute the value of alpha as 0.00035 divided by, okay, so A. Okay, I have written here alpha, just a second. Okay, this is A plus you have to, this is not alpha, this is A minus alpha upon A. and plus open the bracket, it is 2 alpha, means 2 is positive, alpha value is negative, minus 0.00035. So it becomes minus 2 into 0.0035 divided by 2a minus, again alpha value is minus here, minus into minus, be careful, it becomes plus, or else retain the sign as in the formula, and then substitute and find out and let me know the value of A, how much you get. Be quick, everyone calculate and let me know the value of A, how much you get. Use a calculator. If you haven't taken the data, kindly take the data, write the equation, substitute, and let me know the value, how much you get. A small correction, I written alpha, it is not alpha, it is A. Here, it has to be A minus alpha by A. Everyone kindly calculate and please let me know the answer, how much you get. Are you people calculating? Are you people there? Kanishka? Hello? Kindly respond. Are you people solving the problem? Or else I'll ask you people to make the webcam on now. Mr. Kanishka, are you there? If you reply, then the attendance, or else no.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Are you solving?
Trying to, ma'am.
Yeah, please let me know the answer. Gautam Krishna,
Yes, ma'am.
please solve and let me know. Others also,
Yes,
everyone.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Everyone kindly try and let me see who will give me the answer first. Be quick. How much you people are getting? Be quick. What is the answer you people are getting? Ishan, done?
Ma'am, 4.22 into 10 power minus 4.
Yes, ma'am.
Others? Okay, 4.22 into 10 raised to minus 4. So now you have calculated the value of A. So once A is known, our main aim is to get the minimum film thickness. So H2 is equal to B times A. So substitute the value of A, and B is given in the question the width of the shoe, sorry, the bearing length as 90 mm. So convert that into meter, 90 into 10 raised to minus 3, and multiply by your value of A, what you have got now. So calculate and let me know how much you get the value of H2, which is the minimum film thickness of the oil.
Ma'am, 379.8 into 10 power minus 7.
3.798 into 10 to the power of minus 5. Are you telling in mm?
No, ma'am, I told 379.8.
Okay, fine. So you can just write it in terms of meter, 3.798 into 10 raised to minus 5 meter. I hope others are getting the same answer. Is it so?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So once you know the value of minimum oil thickness, the next they have asked you to determine the power loss. So what is the equation we use for power loss? So in general, the power loss equation is nothing but your frictional force into the velocity with which it is moving, sliding, divided by 1000. So even though they don't ask you the frictional force, if they directly ask you the power loss, you are supposed to determine the frictional force. So for that, you have to use the frictional force equation we have derived earlier. And in the data handbook, it is the equation number 24.103. So wherein you have the equation for frictional force for plane slider bearing. So the same equation you have to write. So kindly write the equation for frictional force. It is minus mu L. If you leave minus again, you will go wrong. Minus mu UL. U is the velocity and L is the length of the bearing. Open the bracket. 4 by alpha, alpha which is the inclination, into log of A minus alpha by A plus 6 divided by 2A minus alpha. So these equations are there in data handbook, but don't be very careless. You should be knowing which equation for which type of journal bearing you have to use. For hydrostatic, for hydrodynamic, for pivoted shoe, for idealized journal bearing, everything you should be very familiar. So kindly write the value of viscosity of the lubricant. In the question, it is given as 40 centipoise flow. So please convert that into Pascal second. For that, you should multiply 40 into 10 raised to minus 3. So don't forget to do the conversion. So it is minus 40 into 10 raised to 3 into velocity is given in terms of centimeter second, I guess. Yeah, centimeter second. Kindly convert that into meter per second, right? So it is 250 into 10 raised to minus 2 into the length of the bearing. So the length of the bearing is being given as how much? It is 90 mm. Kindly convert that into meter. So it is 90 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. So we have converted all the parameters into meter. So then open the bracket. It is 4 by value of alpha and it is negative. Don't forget to write the negative sign. So it is 4 divided by 0.0003 times 0 followed by 35 into log of a value you have calculated right away. So the value of a what you have got is 4.2 into 10 raised to minus 4. So substitute that value of a and minus alpha, but alpha value itself is minus, so minus into minus it becomes plus. So inclination value we write it as 0.3 times 0 followed with 35 divided by 0.00035, right? One part is over. Again you write plus, write the constant term 6 divided by twice the value of a. So a value you write 2 into 4.222 into 10 to the power of minus 4 minus of alpha value, right? So it is again minus into minus, it becomes plus here. I haven't made that change, right? So kindly do it. So substitute everything and please let me know the answer. Everyone kindly do the calculation and let me know the answer. Be quick. Write down the formula, check the specifications which are given in the question. You should be able to identify the parameters and solve. Write the equation, substitute the given data and calculate what is the frictional force you are getting.
Dr. Sasha.
What is the answer you're getting?
Ma'am, solving, ma'am. 1 second.
Okay.
Sixteen 16.89.
Frictional force
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. 16.8.
897 newtons. Is it so?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so once, but the question being asked is to find out the power loss. To find out the power loss, we needed the frictional force. So we have evaluated now what is the value of frictional force. So kindly go for the power loss equation, wherein we usually multiply the frictional force into the velocity, because the friction comes into picture when it is sliding with some velocity, which is a constant. So that value also you have to take F naught into U divided by 1000. So kindly substitute the value of F naught, what you have derived. It is 16.897 into velocity is given in terms of centimeter per second. Kindly convert that into meter per second. 215 to 10 raised to minus 2 divided by 1000. So let me know what is the answer you get.
Ma'am, 0.04224.
0.042 in terms of kilowatt. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What about the others? Are you getting the same answers? Response from others? Gautam Krishna is telling us. What about the others? Pavan, Shiv Pavan, Kanishka. Kanishka told about to try. Did you get the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Kanishka.
Is it really yes, or you're just blindly telling me yes?
Ma'am, I'll send photo also, ma'am.
Yeah, kindly WhatsApp me. Let me see right away.
Send on group.
Ma'am, if
Yes,
I
send.
open WhatsApp, the class will go right now. I'll send right after class.
Okay. So next is coefficient of friction. So coefficient of friction, you can get to know what is the value once the load bearing capacity and the frictional force answer is known. So load bearing capacity value is already given in the question, which is W as 7,800 Newton. And we needed the frictional force value that we have calculated right away. So substitute both frictional force divided by the load value, so that will yield you what is the coefficient of friction. So kindly do calculate F naught by W, how much you are getting. And as per the data handbook, the equation is 24.105.
2.66 into 10 power minus
2 point, okay. Is it
2.166.
2.166? No?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
2.1.
2.166.
Okay, 2.166 into 10 raised to minus 3 kilowatt. So this will be the coefficient of friction. So in this way, you'll be getting the numericals. And sometimes they can ask you the pressure distribution also, wherein you have to use the pressure distribution equation and solve the problem. So let us go for the second numerical. So we'll complete one more before the session ends, right? So here we have an rectangular plane slider bearing again. It is of fixed shoe, and they have given us the specifications. So the length of the bearing here is 80 mm. Kindly note down the value of length of the bearing is 80 mm, and they have given us the width of the bearing, which is 60 mm. And slider velocity is in 2 meter per second. Again, don't go in converting into meters. It is already in meters. Kindly take it down as it is. Viscosity of the lubricant is given directly in Pascal per second. Don't go for conversion again. Please see the specification properly. And then minimum fluid thickness is also given in terms of meter. Okay, so it is 0.02 into 10 raised to minus 3. And maximum fluid thickness, which is H1, is also given. So H1 is given, H2 is given, viscosity of lubricant is given, U value is given, B and L. So what are the data which has been asked? Load carrying capacity. So load value is not given. You have to determine what is the load carrying capacity. And you have to determine the friction which is coming across the bearing, and finally what is the power loss, right? So now first you have to determine the load carrying capacity. For load carrying capacity, I've told you the equation what we have derived, which is there in the data handbook in 24.99 equation number. So you will write down the load carrying capacity equation. So then you will see which is the unknown data, right? The mu value you have given, you have the value of U is known, the value of L is known, right? And have they given the value of alpha? No. Instead of giving the value of alpha, they have given you the value of H1 and H2. So now you should try to figure out the inclination angle from the given data. They have given H1 and H2, and the value of B is also known. So alpha is nothing but H2 minus H1 upon B. So you will substitute the given known values of H2, which is the minimum fluid thickness, H1, which is the maximum fluid thickness, divided by the width of the bearing, which is B. So kindly substitute the values and let me know what is the answer you get for alpha. Be quick. And usually the inclination angle will be in terms of negative. So kindly see whether you're getting a negative value. What's the answer you're getting?
Minus 6.6 into 10 power minus 1.
Yeah, so minus 6.67 I'm getting a one digit variation is okay. So please kindly write down, but you have to get a negative value. See that you have got minus 6.67 or 66 whatever into 10 raised to minus 4. So now we know the alpha value in the equation. Apart from that, we don't know the value of A. But they have given you the value of H2 and B. So with the help of H2 and B, substitute the value of minimum oil thickness and the width of the bearing value as 0.02 divided by 60, right? So let me see what is the value of A we will be getting. How much is the value you get? Be quick.
3.34 into 10 power minus 4. Ma'am.
Ma'am, 3.34
3.3.
into 10 power minus 4.
Okay. 3.3 I have written. You kindly add the second digit. 3.34 into 10 raised to minus 4 is the value of A you are getting. So now you know the value of alpha and A, which was unknown in the equation for load bearing capacity equation. So the rest data you are aware enough. So kindly substitute all the data and tell me what is the load bearing capacity. So 6 is a constant. Mu value, viscosity of lubricant is given directly in Pascal seconds. So please don't convert. In place of mu, kindly write it as 0.1 into the velocity with which it is sliding. It is 2 meter per second. It is given directly as meters. So kindly write it as 2, right, into the length of the bearing. So the length of the bearing is given as 80 mm. It is in mm. Kindly convert that into meter. So it is 80 into 10 raised to minus 3 divided by alpha value we have calculated now recently, which is 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 4. Substitute this. Don't forget to write whole square. Open the bracket. Log of A value also we have calculated. You told 3.34. So write it as it is 3.34 into 10 raised to minus 4. Right? Then alpha value is minus. In the equation also you have minus. So minus into minus it becomes plus. 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 4 divided by A value we have calculated as 3.34 into 10 raised to minus 4. So substitute, then again open the bracket. It is 2 alpha. So 2 into alpha value is here again minus 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 4 divided by 2 into A. So 2 into A value, you see how much? It is 3.34 into 10 raised to minus 4. Substitute, right? Again, it is minus alpha and alpha value is minus what we have got. So minus into minus, it becomes plus 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 4. So kindly substitute and tell me the value of load bearing capacity for the plain slider bearing, how much you will be getting. In the meantime, I'll be just taking the attendance. Once you have calculated, you please let me know the answer. Parallelly write your name in the chat room. Today is 9. Akhil KV,
Yes, ma'am.
once you have calculated, please let me know the answer quick. We need to determine the power loss. Anil Kumar, Ankesh Aman, Ankesh, absent. Gautam Krishna,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Ankesh, are you there? No, he's not there. Gautam is
Yes, ma'am.
present.
Ma'am, he's
You are-
there, ma'am. He's
Okay, then kindly answer, no? 24. Balaji VR. Balaji. Balaji VR. Absent. Beldar Mohammed.
Yes, ma'am.
Chaitanya. Chaitanya. Absent. Chetan Kumar. Chetan. Dheeraj.
Yes, ma'am.
Ishant.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What is the answer you're getting?
Ma'am, 2157.84.
21. 21
578.4.
newtons.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, done then. It is right. So now, after knowing the load carrying capacity, you have to figure out the friction which is coming across the bearing and the power loss. As usual, how we have solved the last problem. So this is the equation for frictional force, what I explained you in the last problem already. So in that, you will substitute all the values. The mu value is given, velocity value is given, the length of the bearing is given, A and alpha value is known. Substitute everything and let me know what is the answer for frictional force. Be quick. Others also kindly do calculate. Once that is done, the last part is you need to determine the power loss. So the data, either they can give you H1 and H2, or sometimes they give you the value of W. So you should be knowing how to determine the unknown parameters. Once that is clear, only direct substitution and figuring out the unknown values. Harshit,
Yes, ma'am.
Himanka,
Yes, ma'am.
Kanishka,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Nagamurli Krishna, Nagamurali Krishna, absent. Kunal Raj, Kunal, Danush, Danush is absent forever. Mohammad Ayan,
Present, ma'am.
Mohammad Junaid, Mohammad Junaid, absent. Shri Prasad,
Present, ma'am.
Niharika,
Present, ma'am.
Nihar Venkat Sai,
Yes, ma'am.
Nikhilar,
Yes, ma'am.
Nirab,
Yes, ma'am.
Prajwal S. Bhatt,
Present, ma'am.
Rishabh,
Present, ma'am.
Rohan. Rohan is continuously absent for 4th class. Ask him to call me up. Roshan Yadav. Roshan. Roshan is absent. Suman Sagar.
Yes, ma'am.
Sagar Dutt Mathur.
Present, ma'am.
Sagar GV.
Present, ma'am.
Sanjay. Sanjay
Present,
Raghav.
ma'am.
Shobit.
Present, ma'am.
Shobit.
Present, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Yeah, Siddharth. Both the Siddharth are there. Siddharth B and Siddharth Sridhar. Today both are absent. Subramanya,
Present, ma'am.
Tirumana Sethi Rohan,
Present, ma'am.
Ullas U,
Present, ma'am.
Vidyan,
Yes, ma'am.
Varun,
Present, ma'am.
Pavan,
Present, ma'am.
Danush,
Present, ma'am.
Dhyanesh, Dhyanesh Kumar, absent. Gunasagar, Gunasagar, absent. Meghanatha, Meghanatha, Rasik Baran, Rasik, Shivakrishna,
Present, ma'am.
Shreyas, Shreyas, absent. Srinivasalu, Srinivasalu, Yogananda, Yogananda, absent. Kiranar,
Yes, ma'am.
Kiran is present. Kindly answer when I call your name. I am marked present, don't worry. Ranvir, Ranvir Singh Chauhan, Gautam Sai,
Present, ma'am.
Abdul Khalik Pasha, Abdul, Shiv Pavan, and Alok. Alok, fine. What is the answer you people are getting for frictional force? Let me know quick. Calculate and let me know the answer quick. Subramania, what is the answer we are getting? Gautam Sai? Check it out. Are you getting 33.2 newtons? Please check the answers and let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
What about the others? Ishan told me yes. What about the others? Are you getting the same answer? So once you get the frictional force value, you have to determine the power loss. So you know the equation for power loss, which is F naught into the velocity with which it is sliding divided by 1000. So kindly substitute the value of F naught, which is the frictional force, into the velocity. Don't again convert it into meters. In the question, it is given in terms of meters only. It is 2 meters per second. So just write it as 2 divided by 1000. See what is the power loss value you get.
Ma'am, 0.0664.
0.01664. Let me see, is it right?
0.0664.
The same, the answer is right what you have got. So it is 0.0664 kilowatt. So this is the power loss. So this is how you will get the problems related to plane slider bearing. I will be just sharing an assignment with few more numericals related to it. So kindly solve and submit at the earliest. So from next class, we will be dealing with the last module. Okay. So if you need, I can solve one more problem in the next class and then start up with the module 5.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
What is the author for data handbook, ma'am?
Hello, louder.
What is the author for data handbook?
Okay, you need the author specifically. I will just share the first sheet of the data handbook in the Google Classroom. Fine, you can just refer the same. Okay.
Thanks, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yes, yes. But don't be always relying on data handbook. You should be familiar with the equations. Then it will be helpful for you to search also. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Any other doubts? Okay, then everyone. Yeah. Take care. Have a good day. So let us see in tomorrow's class. Until then, please be safe. Take care and have a nice day. Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Bye bye.